Well, welcome to Benidorm, folks. And yes, finally part 3 of this little road adventure ours, where we drive from Norway and down to Spain for the winter. We have been filming the whole way down, and when I sat down in the motorhome now to edit some videos, I couldn't find lots of the clips. I don't know what happened there, but well, if you come with me inside the motorhome. Well, I think I just need to sort of look through the footage what I have and sit down on the computer, do a little voiceover, and yeah, tell the little story of how we got there.
Now we shall pick our story up in the Rhine River Valley in Germany, just south of the city Koblenz. We spend the night here in this city, Bacharach. And as you can see, it's such a beautiful middle-aged city situated along the river. Now there are many cities like Bacharach up and down the Rhine River, and also in the Mosel Valley. And you have this steep grapevines and a winery that clings to the hill. Now this being in the beginning of October, we were lucky enough to witness the last of the grape harvest. So all these wonderful grapes is soon to come, maybe a beautiful bottle of wine near you. Also, I get many questions about the camera we use, and sometimes we use our phone, especially if we don't have any bigger camera with us. And to the question why we don't use our phone all of the time, well, the result is maybe more visible here when at the one night we have a stroll in the city. You can see how sort of Cornish the picture quality comes with the phone's small sensor and lens. So that is why you also need a big expensive camera for YouTube, folks. Maybe not a top tip, but definitely an expensive tip there. But during the daytime the phone works just fine in most situations. Even has some sort of stabilizer, so you can even bicycle and film at the same time. And of course, let's not forget the fun and greatness of having a drone. You can get a bird's eye view and wonderful clips of, well, wherever you're allowed to fly a drone at least. But yeah, we are on our way to Spain, so as I said, maybe a couple of too many times, it's time to go even farther south. Our next stop on this trip is the Technical Museum in Sinsheim. They have a little parking place there where you can spend the night with your motorhome. Now what draws us to this museum is these two planes you see here. It's both the Concorde and the Tupelo, and they are the two only supersonic passenger airlines we have had in this world. And to be able to see them both at one place is just fantastic. All the airplanes are laid out on stills that they're sort of simulating flight, and you can walk through them. But be aware, they are very steep to walk through. But yeah, it's quite fun. And all through the museum you have all kinds of cars and trains and relics from all kinds of eras. And if you are interested in this kind of thing, it's quite a spectacular sight to behold. Both me and Guru love these things, and we just spend a day pointing and smiling and having a good old time here. We only spent that one day in Sinsheim, though we spent the whole day. We only spent it at the museum. And our journey farther south goes down along the Rhine River, with snakes on the border between Germany and France. Now this time around we decided we wanted to try Switzerland out. We haven't been in Switzerland for a long time now. The reason for that is the prices of Switzerland has gone up quite a bit due to the currency exchange between the Norwegian kroner and Swiss francs. We managed to find a park for night for 280 Norwegian kroners, which is not bad, which is typical Norwegian prices actually. But we only had that one night in Switzerland before we continue our way south down to Avignon. Now there was at this point here in Avignon that I was sure that I have lost a lot of clips and a lot of pictures. Because what I do is, pretty much on journeys like this, we pretty much film on our phones. And every day we do a backup from a phone to a disc like this. Now earlier in the journey, or earlier in the movie, I sort of, especially around the Rhine River, I was thinking to myself, didn't I just film that little thing, or didn't I take a picture of that little thing? And I can't find it now. And normally these things happen because, well, maybe you didn't press record, or after all you're on your vacation, so you're on the move all the time. So it kind of goes a little bit too fast if you want to make a decent video out of it. But here in Avignon, there is nothing left. Just everything is just gone. So I'm not sure what have happened. These things happen, I guess. It happened a couple of times before. I think we need to go back and check our routines, or not be so much sloppy with the backup and things. And of course we also cleared our phone because the memory has gotten full on the phone. So yeah, from here on out there are pretty much nothing. So yeah, it's kind of sad because you lost a lot of memories also. But yeah, I will take you back now to the editing and see if you sort of can make some sort of story out of this. We spent 3 days here in Avignon, and we stayed at the campsite Bagatelle, which is located here on the island in the middle of the river Rhine. Here at the campsite we also met up with a couple of our friends, which we shared the neighboring pitch with, which was a great time. I'm afraid about the campsite Bagatelle, there's not much nice to say about it. It's you have a feeling of you're having your pitch in the middle of the woods. This is unfortunately the only surviving picture I have of the campsite. But the location of the campsite is just perfect if you want to visit Avignon. There's just a leisurely walk over a bridge where you can see the old Pope Palace and the rest of the old bridge and old town in Avignon. And it's 5-10 minutes just a leisurely walk into town from the campsite. And of course, any journey to France is not complete without trying out the French kitchen. What you see here on my plate is ratatouille, and I also believe Gu is having the same dish here. We also tried out the local indoor food market here in Avignon, which was absolutely great. We bought some ham, and I think that it was the best ham I ever tasted in my whole life. Unfortunately, no surviving pictures of that. So here we have Google Earth to the rescue. You can pretty much get pictures from all over the world with Google Earth, but it's yeah, kind of high up angle, but hey. But also another thing we did here, we took the little tourist train around Avignon. Now the tourist train gives us a lot of good information in English on this weird looking headset you see here, but I think the most fascinating thing about this whole train is the precise navigation it has through this really middle-aged narrow streets, which was quite fascinating to observe. Here in Avignon, Gro is leaving us for taking the TGV train up to Luxembourg for flying up to Stavanger in Norway. For work, she will rejoin us in Spain. And I am driving the motorhome further south towards Spain along the Mediterranean Sea. Now my first stop is the town of Béziers. Hold on a minute there, I'm gonna try to get it from Google Translate. Béziers. Yeah. And I wanted to stop in that town because that is a beautiful aqueduct that I want to see from the canal.
Canal du Midi.
Canal du Midi. Now this canal goes from the Mediterranean Sea out to the Atlantic Sea via Bordeaux. And it's an old beautiful canal. It's just as lush and beautiful as I have seen pictures of it and videos. And to bicycle along this channel is just magnificent. It's so calm and peaceful and beautiful. You have wine, grape fields and little villages and people on the water just having a wonderful time. Though I'm quite surprised of the level of alcoholism they steer the boats with here. But hey, I guess that's the French way of driving boats in canal, I guess. Now here is a strange construction. It's the Fons-Touraine water slope, or as the French would say it,
Pente d'eau de Fonserane.
Now this thing was invented by Jean Albir. Now Jean Albir made two of these gigantic tractor things, one back in the 60s, and the second one, this one you see here, he made in the 80s. Now the thing is with this one, is that it takes a ship in a body of water, and it pushes the body of water and the ship up a slope instead of using traditional locks, so it can move the ship up and down in terrain. Now, as I understand it, this one could take a displacement of 350 tons, and that included the water and the ships, and push it up the slope. And of course all this is done instead of traditional locks, which has functioned for hundreds and hundreds of years. And this thing never worked properly. It was really over-engineered, and so it was in operation in the middle of the 80s and all the way up to 2001.
Now I really would love to see this in real life. Oh my God, can you imagine? Oh well.
I am still continuing south towards Spain, passing Barcelona and following the Mediterranean coast down towards the Costa Blanca area. Normally we hang around the Alicante area with the motorhome, visiting different campsites and some free camping spots that we have found that we like. Now we have been traveling with a motorhome and a car around all of Spain. We like the weather situation down in the Costa Blanca area. We have some friends there, and we keep finding ourselves coming back to this area. And yeah, we do a lot of things, but the things we do the most is bicycling. Yeah, we love to just bicycling along and explore Spain. And this time I find myself also in a little mud bath that was I tried for the first time. Maybe a top tip, maybe not, but it's quite a different experience. Thankfully, I think the best thing about it was that the water you find the mud in was quite warm due to it's quite shallow.
Well, so that's that, folks. Hope you liked this little video. As always, thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.